This is Richard Wolff from Democracy at Work with another Wolff Responds. I would like to call this the Obama-Trump-Biden system. I want to talk to you about what is similar as well as what is different about these three, what they've been doing and what they've not been doing. And I think seeing them together as a trio makes more sense than overstating and overestimating what they differ about. So let's begin. I think all three of them have been reacting first and foremost to a capitalism that doesn't work very well anymore. You know, that capitalism that is presiding over a decline in the standards of living, in the conditions of work, in the quality of our public health, all of it. Everything that we have experienced in the last 20 years, and really, if you think about it, the last 30 or 40. Those things going wrong in our economy that have loaded us up with debt, that have made the economy more unequal and therefore the society as a whole than we have seen in a century. I also want to stress that it's a broken capitalism that has crashed 3 times. The so-called dot-com crash in 2000, the so-called subprime mortgage crash in 2008, and now the so-called COVID crisis in 2020 and this year and continuing. Now, what is it that Obama, Trump, and Biden have done that is the same? Answer: they have done everything they can think of, throwing the whole kitchen sink of economic policy at a system that keeps breaking down, and it isn't working except for the top 10%. So what did Obama do? 2009, 10, as he comes into office, massive budget deficits, huge government spending, what we call fiscal policy, coupled together with his oversight of the Federal Reserve becoming very loose in its monetary policy, pumping new money into the system, dropping interest rates to historic lows. Yeah, they were trying to save capitalism in the aftermath of that horrendous crash in 2008, later called the Great Recession. And then what about Trump? He did what Obama did, only more so. He spent even more government money. He ran even bigger deficits because he combined more spending with a dramatic tax cut, particularly for corporations and the rich. You know, that thing passed in December of 2017. He boosted a desperate capitalism more than Obama even did, even though we're supposed to imagine that kind of boosting tapers off after a crisis, not accelerates. And now we have Biden, who outdoes Trump in the level of government spending, in the level of monetary creation, in the level of low interest rates. 3 bad crashes, each one worse than the other one. 3 presidents, each working harder than the other one to use the whole catalog of monetary and fiscal policy to boost the economy, which is a polite way of saying to keep the rich getting richer while the rest of us clearly don't. They are very alike, but they are actors who know that they're supposed to play different roles, so they do. Obama and Biden are Democrats, so they cover over saving capitalism from itself by appealing to their base, doing something about some of those issues that concern the culture wars that are important to us, of course. Improving government services, if you're a Democrat, a bit. Bringing back the worst reactionary horrors of past American culture, if you're a Republican. That's right, doing things that are important for women, minorities, brown people, black people, students. That's the democratic symbolism. Building up evangelicalism, building up white supremacy. That's a kind of playing to the Republican base, at least the part of it that's active. Yeah. You play those games, you make those distinctions. You keep people focused there while you keep doing the same thing. And here's another area where it's cheap and easy to play symbolic games. Mr. Obama started pushing out immigrants, particularly the undocumented. Mr. Trump took it a whole new step bigger, made it a cornerstone of his pretense at being something different. And Mr. Biden, he's beat them both, even more, exporting of the poorest of the poor, trying to replicate the immigrant's dream coming to the United States. Of course, it's a distraction. This is a country of 330 million people with a very troubled capitalism. Blaming those troubles on the poorest immigrants, never numbering more than maybe 10 million undocumented, if that, is an absurd way to explain the economic problems of a $330 million and a 330 million person, economy. Wow. And likewise, Obama pivots to the Asians. Trump attacks China, and Biden goes him one better. Immigrants, China, useful distractions when your main job is to save a capitalism that is broken for the 99%, but keeping it going for the 1%. Don't be fooled by the details and the play acting. Watch the money. That's where the story is. And for those of you who appreciate videos like this and our attempt to shape and change the kinds of conversations Americans are having more than ever now about the system and about the basic changes needed, we ask your partnership through the Patreon.com mechanism, through our websites. We ask your partnership because you and we are engaged in a historic effort that has more chances for success now than at any point in the last half century. Thank you.